Hi, welcome to the shelter. Come on in. Excuse our mess, we're always under construction around here. We have a lot of people right now. We're running about 11 in the shelter. We've had as many as 27 last week when it was really cold. So come on in. Some of them are trying to get breakfast ready this morning. We're running a little bit behind. They had to make sure they had their rooms all cleaned up before you guys got here. This is our kitchen. The least we've fed has been this week, which we fed about 10. We have fed as many as 25 or 27 here. We cook 2 meals a day. Breakfast is kind of just grab it where you can, depending on who all is here. We had a lot of children and they had to be out to school, so we had to just feed them cereal or whatever and get them going. So this is our kitchen. Everything in this place has been donated by someone. When we started, we had a refrigerator and absolutely nothing else. We had no stove, we had nothing. So as you go through here and you see that we have an abundance of furniture, realize that it's because someone wanted to share with us. So if you want to, we'll go back this way. This is our living room. We have a beautiful entertainment center that a gentleman handmade, and when he went to downsize, it was something that he wanted to share with us, and so he was instrumental in getting it all in here. We currently have beds kind of stacked around because last week we were just overrun with people. We had beds on the floors, we had people on the floors, we stepped around people, we stepped, when it gets cold, people want to come in out of the cold, and so they call and we go pick them up, and we don't ask them any questions. We just ask, you know, if they've got any sort of a record that would cause any harm to anyone, and that's about our only criteria. We have a laundry room, we have a clothes room where people make donations, and we put them in here. We sort them out by sizes. Right now we're in the process of getting shorts and summer stuff out and winter stuff in. We're trying to, most people that come in here, they come in with no more than a backpack. If you can imagine trying to live your life out of a backpack and go through a week of school or a week of work or try to find a job, that's what it's like. So when we get the donations in, we sort them. Anything that has to be mended, I sew it up, I take care of it, we wash it, we take, you know, do whatever we have to do to get it presentable for the people. This back here is actually the area that the people stay in the most. When we first set up, my idea was that we would have all these babies and children's, and we had all these playpens and change tables and everything in this room, and then the first person we got in was a 7-year-old boy who did not appreciate the change tables and the baby beds. So we took them all out, and we just recently had as many as 5 little girls in here in this one room. Then this is the ladies' side. Women tend to explode. They don't usually have a lot of stuff, and so they don't usually have a lot of stuff, so as they start collecting it and gathering it from the room, then they just kind of spread out all over the place. But this is the women's side. They have a large closet that they can use, and it also opens up into the children's room. So when we have children in, we keep this door open and they're able to go in and check on their children. If we have men with children, then we close this door and everybody goes in and out the hall door that way. Everybody has access to the children if necessary. This is our men's side. They, for the first time since we've opened, we are way outnumbered by the number of men that we have. They have no lights in this room. They only operate on lamps. For some reason, this room was never made with any lights in it. And so we just moved the bunk beds in yesterday to try to take up or fill up a little bit more space. We had people sleeping on the floor. We currently have all of these beds filled, as well as both of our couches, and one gentleman is still on the floor. We will not turn anyone away. We just have to make them an offer that they sleep on the floor or the couch or whatever. It's kind of first come, first serve. So if you've already been here, you're going to get the most comfortable bed, and you're going to stick with it as long as you can to keep from having to give it out. Same thing with the men. They come in with very small amount of items. We have a shelf for them to put them on. Some of them come in luckily with totes or suitcases. But it's, you know, it's very limited usually as to what they have, and we hardly ever get any men's clothes in our donations. This is our quiet area. Again, we have mattresses up here simply because we used them last week and haven't been able to get them out. Behind that mattress is a bookshelf that's loaded with books for all ages. We have books for children, we have books for adults, we have westerns, we have anything that you could want, and then this is where they sit. We also have a toy box over there, so when the children are in here, this is their play area. We have 10 acres here, so we have lots of room for the kids to play. When they come in from being homeless, usually They've been transitioning from home to home to home before they end up here, and they aren't very happy little kids. They cry a lot. They are very sad. I believe in animal therapy. We have cats, we have dogs, we have turtles that run loose in the house. We have chickens, we have goats that are very, very tame. The kids get to play. We let them ride bicycles. They can just play outside. We have a swing set. We have sand out there that they can play in. Every weekend we will do something. We've had weenie roast. We had an unbirthday party for a little boy because he was homeless during the time his birthday came around, and so he hadn't had any friends over or anything. So we had an unbirthday party. It wasn't his birthday, but he got presents and he got cake, and he thought life was grand. We've had birthday parties for little kids. We have bonfires. We have weenie roasts. We have friends who come and sing to them out in the in the driveway. We just try to make it as much like a family as we can. I go to the Continuum of Care meetings often, and they always talk about this client, I have this client, I have that client. Well, here, I don't consider them clients. I consider this my home, and that I've opened it up, and that we have guests here. We all sit around this big table that was donated to us. We sit at the bar, we sit wherever we do. We all eat dinner, especially together. Lunch is kind of depends on who's here and who's not out working. But here, we sit around the table, we all pray, we all hold hands, we pray, and then we eat, and we all eat together. And we have, we do, I don't ever think of them as a client. They're my friends, they're my guests. When we get someone who is able to move out, we have a celebration. I would love it if there came a point where there wasn't a soul in here, but I don't think that's anytime soon. I love them all, but I would love it if we didn't have a need for a homeless shelter. My vision would be just to have a larger place. 2 bathrooms at least would be awesome. But I would really, my goal would just be not have it. But we really need a larger place, because the fact that we had 25 in here on one night is a proof that there is a need. And some of them were transient, some of them were passing through, coming in off the interstate. Some of them were just coming in out of the cold for a couple of nights, and then they were gone again. So it just really depends on how you want to look at it. Is it a place that's just for families and you don't want to help anybody else? Some of the people in here have gotten a job, come from somewhere else and gotten a job, but what are they supposed to do until they can afford to get into a place of their own? Most of them don't have cars. Most of the time, my vehicle is the only one that's running. And so, what are they supposed to do? What encourages them to get a job if they don't have a place to live? And so we put them here, and they live until they can afford to get into a place of their own. And I don't accept anything from them. I don't ask anything from them. I just let them live and focus on getting established somewhere. And I do what I have to do to help them get there.